State your business here.
The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
I wonder, when will I finally make sorry?
State your business here.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me.
Exorcism uses... thaumaturgy and martial arts to conquer evil. There are other means to the same end, but they are not the true way.
State your business here.
The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
State your business here.
The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
State your business.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. Cowering already?
Oh, I have failed. Useless.
Poor timing. Passable left. Poor timing. Passable left. Passable left.
Stabilize.
Poor timing. Fine opportunity. Not bad, not bad. Passable left. My flame. Time. Passable effort. Passable effort. Passable effort. Celestial Voyager! Cowering already? Poor timing. Passable effort. Poor timing. Poor timing. Passable effort. Guess I should take you more. Break! This! No use hiding back there!
The day has finally come!
You've got some skills. Something else catch your eye? My turn! My turn! You've got some skills. Eat this!
Solidify! Stabilize! I will have order.
Wind, hear me!
You're a cut above. But you can use one if you need.
Your
None may
business
enter
here.
without good cause. The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
State your business here.
The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
State your business here.
The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause. The Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
State your business here.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
State your business
The
here.
Golden House is sacrosanct. None may enter without good cause.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a... Rest while I go back.
children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Lea Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yenfei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yenfei, I believe you've already heard of the Traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the top.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for smaragdus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Is that so? But Smaragdus jadeite is really rather essential. Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. That he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
can't beat the atmosphere.
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good. Very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhi lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
I should open a store here.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Zhi? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them, but now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Zhi, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, sure, I have...
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said true. Though surely there must be a...
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear. Furthermore, the contract also expressly, and given the rarity of smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher at...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins, whichever way you look at it, we've got...
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be...
Please. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. Now that it's come to this, I really...
Yes, legally speaking, it's... So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow.
What did I feel? Well, my family has seen much jade...
Smooth to the touch. Finest No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossel's.
See some action. My friend.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to... I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Come and see these rare and precious jewels.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may...
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5.
This contract has so many pages.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through.
I've had a read through. Everything.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnine merchant named Crossell, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cry cross-sections, yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer...
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these...
Is that so? Well, we might as well give Elemental Sight a shot. So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Cross...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yenfei.
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says...
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Yes. Please, this document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a minor...
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossel won't dare try to deny what he...
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps people to find a jewel.
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is this, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessary. As such, legal advisors like myself...
So you help them make sense of the law.
But yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised, knowing, oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singxi.
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in. Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you, has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only...
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Singxi, I'd like for you to...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction... Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on... for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jade.
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Jewelry is out of stock, but we have some new items in.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What
No. I'm here this time to ask...
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period... Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be...
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if you're
you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now...
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors?
Of course. According to the stipulations, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her?
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you're...
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot... I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore...
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. If we want to determine whether the ore is genuine, this is a processing record from...
Seriously? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of...
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated.
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't...
Hard evidence. Something legally binding.
This document proves...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case. I'm referring to the affidavit signed by Dr. Baiju of Boo... I'm referring to the affidavit signed by Dr. Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I'm referring to the affidavit signed by Dr.
What's the...
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow with sustained contact with smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar...
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with You do understand, Mr. Crossell. Your answer, please.
Can't be seriously...
I admit it. I confess. But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money, but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel... I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot... That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from smaragdus nephrite. I kept the real smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why...
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why...
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that smaragdus jadeite, some of my... If word got out that I...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of...
20%? That's as much as I spent on that smaragdus...
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility.
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead?
What? But
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the smaragdus jadeite...
Well, that's not quite...
Thanks so much for your help this time.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony.
Well, yeah...
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claim...
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, if we could join forces...
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, even though...
The right solution depends on your perspective. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to... an Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as... In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of...
Paimon can think of someone who would...
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay...
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business. I've been looking into the laws of a...
Come now, child. Are you leaving?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Indeed, Yanfei might be overly garrulous. Liyue, all right then. Let us speak of this.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
It is but a single tea. There we go. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need...
Wait a minute, Granny!
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged...
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a great big house in the middle, too! Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Well, still... Why? Oh, wait a second. What if...
It seems that we have...
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot... hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose...
So you're the little helper Madame Ping mentioned?
Madame Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm. Your journey may be far from over. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have thus. We teapots, you may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, as long as you have a blueprint, you can
Blueprints? Oh.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking of. Just commit the image of the objects to memory, then simply release the thought from your mind.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of this world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief...
A golden-eyed adeptus?
I hardly remember myself. What's more... Well, let's not dwell on that. If there's anything you would like to ask...
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication. I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Maybe you're not... If you ever have any questions...
I created another universe and found it...
Maybe you're not used to the play... If you ever have any questions about...
The one before you is known as Jogo. Ah. The one before. Ah.
Oh, I was completely... Aw, you really know how to make me feel. Don't you worry. I love it here. Not at all. I think what makes this... If I were to start nitpicking, it would only ruin your... I certainly wouldn't want that.
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will... If you ever have it...
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verirrten. I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
I created another universe and founded paradise. for I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin de Ver... I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication. I do worry about the well...
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Nadinha, Nadinha?
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Uhum.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, official, and the princessins of... I created